Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've had several questions lately about padding and margins and what's the difference and when do you use them. There seems to be a little confusion there, so let's try and clear that up. I've got a page here, simple section. In that section I've got a row with 2 columns in it, and I'm going to get rid of these and we'll start from scratch. Okay, I'm going to use a text module. Hit the little button to add a new module. If we roll down to the bottom, you'll find the text module. Divi comes as standard with all these modules. Okay, so we've got a text module there. Let's actually clone it so we've got exactly the same thing in both columns. So I'm going to hit the little clone button there. Drag one over here. Okay, in this left one here, let's give it padding on the top of 100 pixels. So I'm going to go in there to design, and these settings are common to all Divi modules, so this will work the same with any module you use. I'm going to go to design and then spacing, and here we got margin and padding. So let's give this one padding of 100 pixels on the top, and it pushes it down like that. And let's give it, say, 50 on the left, and it pushes it to the left like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing now for this one on the right, but we'll use margin instead of padding. I'm going to go in, design tab, spacing, margin this time, 100 on the top and 50 on the left. Now to me, they look like they're doing exactly the same thing, and they are pretty much. But if we go in and I give this a colored background, in fact, let's actually take this away and I'll go in and take the spacing away for both modules, and we'll go back in and we'll do the same thing, and you'll see the difference between the margin and the padding. So they look like they've done exactly the same thing with the spacing there. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to give this one a colored background. Doesn't matter what color you give it, this is just to demonstrate. You'll see what I'm demonstrating in a minute. Let's give it a yellow background on this one, a red background on this one. Okay, so we've got our fairly identical boxes there. I apologize, that looks terrible color wise, but it's going to demonstrate the point. Okay, so we're going to go back in this one and do exactly the same. We're going to change the padding. Design tab, spacing, padding, 100 on the top. There we go. And you can see that's put that on the top. 50 on the left. And that's pushed it over the left. Now let's do exactly the same as we did with the red one there. But we'll use margin this time, and you'll see the difference immediately. Design, spacing, margin. Top, 100. There you go. You can see the difference already. And as you can see, the margin is actually affecting the outside of the container, our text box container here, whereas the padding is really affecting the internal of our little text module there. And you can kind of think of it, if you think of the text as something fragile that you want to mail to somebody, and you're putting it into a box, the box being the yellow section here, and you want to protect it, so you're going to put some bubble wrap around it, some padding basically. And the bubble wrap or the padding is what you see there. It's protecting the interior or creating space between the interior and the exterior of the box, whereas the margin is actually moving the box down or left. And the great thing about margins, which is another reason for using them, is you can use negative values with margins. So if I was to go to, say, the left hand side here and change that to, say, negative 150, let's do negative 150, you can see it's actually moved this box over the left. Then if I gave it 150 positive, or 150, we've actually moved our box all the way over there. And you can move it up by giving it negative margin on the top, and you can move it down by giving it negative margin on the bottom or positive margin on the top. So for instance, if I was to give this minus 100 pix, it would go way up there somewhere. So that's how you can use negative positioning to overdo elements. And then of course with Divi, if you overlap elements like this, it's not necessarily going to look good on a mobile or a tablet. And with both padding and margin, this is common again to most Divi modules. If you just hover over, you'll see a bunch of icons here. You see a little mobile phone icon. Click on it. You can set different margins and paddings. See, look at that on a tablet. That's not going to look too well. So you can readjust it to however you want. Just put 0 or whatever padding you want there. And of course you can do the same for the mobile version also. And it inherits the one just before it. So if you've done the tablet version, it'll inherit that to your phone. But of course you can put a different one on the phone. Let's give it some padding all around, perhaps on the phone. Let's give it some padding of 20 pixels all around. And you'll see we've added a bit of bubble wrap, or a bit of space, if you like, between the outer edges and the inner edges there. So there you go, guys. I hope that's kind of demystified that a little bit for you, and when to use padding and when to use margin. They're great features, and you can do some wonderful things by overlapping things with margins and what have you. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.